I am going to give myself a pat on the back and a round of applause because my advice works in the real world and I now have proof. This video is of an interview with some people who had to move house, selling their house in Bicester in Oxfordshire. And it tells the story of how they didn't know that this good an experience was possible. I didn't tell them who to choose, but they followed the advice on how to choose their agent and they used BestAgent to choose their agent. And here's what happened.
It just sort of started us to think we needed a bit more space. We wanted the outdoor space and we were both working from home full time.
And I think we also knew that we didn't want to move too far. So we love this area, love the village, and wanted to stay local. Want Finn to stay in the local primary school. Don't want to move him again because he just moved back from the States. So there's kind of a few requirements.
So basically, having come back from the States, and I think, it was lovely coming back to our old house, but we soon realised the boys are a lot bigger than when we left. So a lot more, we just didn't have the space that we remembered and we got used to having in America. And that was sort of part of the driver, but also Oliver started secondary school, and Finn still being in the village. It just sort of started us to think we needed a bit more space. We wanted the outdoor space and we were both working from home full time.
And I think we also knew that we didn't want to move too far. So we love this area, love the village, and wanted to stay local. Want Finn to stay in the local primary school. Don't want to move him again because he just moved back from the States. So there's kind of a few requirements.
What would your approach have been? How would you have selected which agency you would have called?
I think, in all honesty, if we hadn't used BestAgent to sort of help us identify who was in the market, I think we would have probably just gone with who we'd bought from, who also happened to be who we'd sold with before we moved here 10 or so years ago. Well, no, more than that, 11 or so years ago. I think in retrospect, it was absolutely the right thing not to just go with who we knew, but to sort of look around because we wouldn't have...
No, I think we would have gone, I think what we did last time was probably look at which boards are the most prevalent in our area, who's selling, who's buying, around here. And that would have been quite narrow, I think. Or you go into the market square in Bicester and walk round, they're all in the same square, and probably gone in and chatted to a few people. But I don't think it would have been anything more scientific than that.
And I think the big difference that BestAgent brought us was that opportunity to understand who else was out there and what maybe the differentiating factor. And also, technology has changed so much since the last time we bought or sold a house.
Yeah.
And so, not that we needed to understand that ourselves, but someone who clearly is up to date with latest, digital stuff, being able to send a video message. I thought, well, that's really good because if other people are working from home, someone who's confident doing a Teams call or doing that kind of chat is really important. But more than anything else, it was just knowing who was out there. Ben, to be honest, for us, was stand out. Well, he was in a good position anyway. He was the first one to respond, sent a very good video that was clearly he was comfortable just saying, hey, I'm Ben, interested to meet you type of thing and see your property.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Ben. I work for Fine & Country in Bicester. It's just gone very well. We had 13 viewings in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So enough people that it wasn't quite right for, but it helped find that one who was. And it actually was quite exciting to get the opportunity of introducing me as a person, then the company or a success story of the area we know so well. From a seller's point of view, I would love to meet that person virtually before maybe considering them to go and value the house. I quite like that.
It became not about the brand, but about him, to be honest. And he was very good. He's also been helping us, now we've sold the property, he's helping us to find the next place as well, because he's keen to make sure this chain stays together. So he's been very proactive, I suppose that's the word.
I don't think we could ever expected. I mean, we knew the market was quite hot, people were buying and things were going quickly. But I think our experience of this close particularly is that things can take 6 months to sell. So we were putting things on, we were sort of, right, we'll go on holiday, it's all tidy, let's go away and see what happens. But with no expectation that it would move that quickly. And
the time frame was, I think it was a Friday we went live, but he already had people lined up.
When I first met Chris, because Cass was sort of on the phone or working, it was always the opportunity of just trying to find them something. It was the bigger picture or the next move, whereas I think sometimes agents just think value the house, get it on the market, and I won't look after them as much. And I hope finding their property before it goes live speaks more volumes than actually just selling their house quite quickly.
So this is the whole point of the best agent concept, right? We don't know who you would end up with. Best agent has no idea, right? Because all of the local agents were notified that you were coming to the market and were invited to contact you.
Yes.
Now, we spoke to them, and roughly speaking, a third of them, we don't work like that. We're not interested.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't have an introduction.
Almost a bit rude.
They were astonishingly, sorry, well, why don't they just call us?
Yeah.
Well, because we're trying to give them a more convenient way. They're having to manually ring and repeat their life story to every agent that they call.
Which you do have to. It's quite a long process.
Yeah.
It's a long, even calling one is a long process, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And yet agents don't get this, that you have to repeat yourself every single time. So that's point number one. The second, is about split into threes, right? The first third are like, you don't like that. The second third are curious and want to, but they're scared of doing a video and don't do it.
Right, okay.
And the final third are like, this is a great idea. And people like Ben and the other two, well, yeah, this is great. Thank you. You're giving us an introduction. Because we don't charge the agent until they're instructed. So it's only on instruction.
Right, got you.
Whereas what you may not know is that agents are used to paying quite high fees just for an introduction, even if they don't get the business.
Are they?
So this is actually good for agents as well. So what we're trying to do is a bit like Tinder.
Yeah.
We want both sides to be happy.
The whole point is for Chris and Kath to have known that it's gone to all 20, and then the ones that go, sorry, that's not a postcode, sorry, that's not a price range, you start to whittle it down, but without them having to do it.
Yeah, the legwork's being done
Yeah.
by you guys and
Yeah.
behind the scenes. This is, in my opinion, the best it can all go.
Yeah.
You introduced yourself to us, we were on board, said yes, vendors were delightful,
Yeah.
and everything's just gone so
Yeah.
smooth.
This is the point I want to get across, is that there is usually someone like that in most areas, but it's very hard to find them because you never know where they're working.
Yeah.
No,
They could be working anywhere. They could be working in a large corporate, small independent, they might be a one-man band. But you find that person who's invested in the process, knows the buyers, and really makes you feel like they want this and they're working for it.
Yeah.
But finding that person is the problem and the challenge. That's hopefully we're going to try and help.
Absolutely, and I think he really sort of changed our perspective of what to expect. I think in terms of the sort of level of input he was bringing, and the level of detail he was sort of prepared to go into, not just in help us search, but also in this house as well.
Well, interestingly enough, I think when a few people came around and valued it, didn't they? But he didn't give the highest valuation on the house. And so it's very easy to think, oh, we'll go with the people who value the house the highest, etc. But actually, we then had more dialogue about why he thought that and what he was concerned about and all of these different things. And I think that was really important as well. But in the end, we still went with him because of the relationship we had with him. And we talked about how to market the house, etc. So I think it was just important to not think, right, okay, well, that guy said it's worth this, so we'll go with them.
Well, thank you for trying BestAgent.
Oh, well, it's been a real pleasure.
Thrilled it's worked out so well.
Yeah.
Really am thrilled because I've been studying this so long and I know that this is the secret. And if everyone thought like this and took this much care in choosing, but you just said it was the relationship that you developed, which is why you went with him.
Yeah.
And this is the point I want to get everyone to understand. Brands don't sell properties. People sell properties. And the best individual for a particular seller isn't always the same. Right? Your neighbours next door might have a different relationship with Ben and might actually get a better relationship with a different kind of agent. Someone else. You never know. And it depends on whether it's kids and grandkids or what the circumstances are, what the financial situation is. It's unique. There's no such thing as the best agent in a town or a village for everyone. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's the best for your circumstances.
And it worked well for us. I think, we're used to, just for example, making quick decisions, dealing with technology, lots of information flying at you. Working with Ben, he seemed to work in a very similar way. He was able to quickly answer questions.
That's good.
We had a WhatsApp chat going on and that type of stuff. Just made it so easy.
I hope you enjoyed watching that interview with Chris and Cass, who just had a fantastic result in their home. What you need to remember and take away from this, if you are thinking of selling or currently trying to sell or planning to sell one day, is that the agent you choose will affect the amount of money you get and how quickly you get it. Every agent will give you a different outcome. And if you think about what that means, you realize that means that one of the agents will give you a better outcome than any of the others. The problem is, it's very hard to know where that person works. Are they working in a corporate high street brand? Are they working for an independent agent? Are they working for a work from home one-man band? You just never know. And that's the problem that BestAgent solves. So if you're thinking of selling and you want to avoid the nightmare experience that a lot of sellers have, then head over to bestagent.co.uk and click on Find Your Agent. Fill out the information there and let BestAgent do the rest. You will then get video introductions from local agents asking to meet you, and from those you can decide who you want to invite round to your house for evaluation. Good luck, and remember, nothing affects your chances of moving more than your choice of agent. So choose wisely, please. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.